this, and I guess I wanted to start out with Donald Trump. Is he a serious candidate or a sideshow? And I know you said, or somebody on your show said, that the longer he stays in the race, the better for Hillary and the Democrats. What do you think?
Yeah, Doug Schoen said that last Sunday, and I'm not, well, first of all, I'm not sure, and I say it all the time, Drew, that I'm not sure that Hillary Clinton will even be the Democratic candidate next year. I think we're getting way ahead of ourselves with her. I think on Trump, he is doing much better than anybody could have thought, even after last weekend with this whole McCain POW fiasco. Mm-hmm. His numbers have actually gone up since then, and he is completely dominating the Republican race. You take a guy like Governor Kasich of Ohio. On paper, he is the most qualified candidate. He's been 18 years in the House of Representatives, head of the Budget Committee when they balanced the budget for the last time. He was on the Armed Services Committee, which means he's got, military and foreign experience. Worked at Fox, worked at Wall Street, and then 2 terms as governor of the most important swing state for a Republican, Ohio. All that he announces on Tuesday, and he's completely blotted out by Donald Trump. That's how big Trump has been for the last 3 weeks. Now, I have no clue how long this thing's going to go on. And I have no clue whether it's going to end badly for him. I don't know.
So you think it's unnecessary for him to apologize about the POW comments he made, and it's actually benefited him?
Okay, you asked 2 separate questions. It has benefited him because he attacked McCain, and he got tremendous pushback from the establishment. And the Republican primary voters hate the establishment. And you know what? They don't like McCain. They don't like him. They never liked him. They didn't like him when he was the Republican candidate in 08. They didn't like him. And McCain, Trump attacking McCain helped Trump. He did aim a little bit when he made that ridiculous comment that POWs aren't heroes, or I like my heroes who aren't captured, because actually POWs are the biggest heroes in every war. We all revere men and now women who are POWs because they not only were fighting and got captured, but then they keep fighting while they're being held, and they're beaten and tortured and suffer, separated from their families. Their families suffer over here. I mean, that was a stupid comment, and I think Trump has gotten off of it and back onto illegal immigration and survived it.
Okay, I guess you have to give him some credit for getting that far. All right, let's change the subject a little bit. That we have a currency crisis or a fiscal crisis, with regards to the amount of money that's in the money supply and multiplying by 4 times since 2006. Greenspan said that with no gold standard, there is no way to stop confiscation of savings through inflation. And, we continue to print money, and do you think this is going to lead us to a currency crisis?
It's going to lead to a potential even hyperinflation at some point. It has to. But we have both, because we have a fiscal problem at the same time. We are hemorrhaging money. We have gone from, when I was in Congress, we had a $1 trillion national debt. We are now, we don't know what our national debt is, because since the first week of April of this year, the Obama Treasury Department has frozen the debt clock at $18 trillion and change. So it's April, May, June, into July. They will not tell us. You have to assume it's $1 trillion or more.
And that's over $175,000 per taxpayer, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And no one, again, back on the political thing, they're not talking about it again. They got off the debt thing. And our problems that are driving the debt, which are basically the 2 entitlement programs, Social Security and Medicare. And what are we going to do to fix them so they don't keep hemorrhaging money? And no politician really wants to talk about it. Considered the third rail of American politics, but someone needs to talk in a responsible way, because as a country, we've got to fix this problem, or else we are Greece, waiting to happen.
Right, on a bigger scale. And okay, all right, and another change up for you. You said that the current administration has no strategic plan to deal with ISIS. And you also suggested that the president go to the Middle East, convene the leaders, and tell them they have to step up, and the U.S. will provide support. Now, of the presidential candidates, who's the most presidential that you could see pulling off your strategy?
Great question. I haven't really thought about it. I think a lot of them, if they were to be elected president, I could see them doing it.
Could you see Donald Trump doing that?
God, I can't even imagine Trump as president. I really can't. I haven't even pictured it. I'm watching Trump and I'm enjoying it, Drew, because it's just fun to watch. But a year and a half from now, up on that platform outside the Capitol, swearing in Donald Trump as president. Well, the other way I could see it happen is that we tend to lurch from one extreme to another, not just political extreme, but style extreme. So, we had the first George Bush, who was a very proper, preppy kind of guy. And we lurched over to Bill Clinton, who had been a hippie, a pot smoker, all that stuff, and a Southerner. And he's president for 8 years. And after 8 years of blue dresses and bad behavior and white trashy behavior, the country sort of lurched back to another Bush, right? Mm-hmm. And then after 8 years of that, they get sick of that. They lurch way over to the left with Barack Obama, obviously our first black president, who wasn't part of the political establishment. If they keep this pattern up, who's the most opposite of Barack Obama? And maybe it is Donald Trump.
Yeah,
maybe it's an independent, rich, businessman who gets stuff done.
Yeah, now wouldn't it have been better for Trump if he had come out at the last minute so he wasn't inspected as much as he's going to be?
Well, that's one thing. The other thing is I'm not sure he should be running in a Republican primary. I think he might have been better off running as an independent right from the get-go and attack both parties and say they're both corrupt. They both have created the mess we're in. I'm running against both of them. Yeah. I'm not sure in the long run he wouldn't be better off that way, but it's too late now. He's running as a Republican, and he's throwing out the idea of, well, I might still run as an independent if the Republicans treat me badly. That can't happen now because if he leaves the Republican race at some point, it's sour grapes. It's, you couldn't cut it, so you ran away.
Yep. Okay. I know you have a busy schedule. I got one final question. Alex Rodriguez, he's changed the tide of public opinion in a way that I just didn't think was possible. How did that happen?
So he's hitting well. And I think and he's behaving well too. All the interviews, he's never nasty. He's never angry at baseball or the Yanks. He's quite humble. He is as you and I, because we love baseball, still play, obviously. He is just so good. It's a joke. And I think he's probably clean because I think he's being tested heavily. His numbers are so unbelievable for a shortstop who turned into a third baseman, but he's one of the greatest hitters of all time.
That's right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll do this again next week.
Can't wait, Joe.